The streets of Ravenbrook glowed orange beneath a veil of drifting mist. Plastic skeletons dangled from porches. Fake cobwebs fluttered in the breeze, and laughter echoed from every corner. It was Halloween night, the only night of the year when fear was celebrated. But for Martin, fear was just a joke. At 16, he thought trick-or-treating was for kids. He and his two friends, Kyle and Ryan, had a different plan that year, Operation Pumpkin Smash. Their goal? To ruin the decorations of anyone who went overboard with the Halloween spirit. By 10 p.m., the streets had grown quieter. The little kids were home, candy-filled and tired, and only a few late-night stragglers wandered under the flickering streetlights. That's when Kyle pointed at a house standing alone at the end of Hollow Creek Road. The place looked ancient, the wood blackened with age, the porch sagging, and dozens of jack-o'-lanterns glowing eerily on the steps, each one carved with a twisted grin. Ryan shivered. "That's Old Man Harrow's place, isn't it?" Martin laughed. "You mean the Pumpkin Man? That's just a story." Kyle frowned. "My grandma said he used to carve pumpkins for every kid in town until one year. His son disappeared. People said he carved a pumpkin with his son's face and never came out of that house again." Martin kicked a rock at the porch. "Fairy tales. Watch this." He grabbed one of the pumpkins, big, bloated, and half-rotten, and smashed it against the porch. The sound wasn't like a pumpkin breaking. It was wet. Black liquid splashed onto his shoes, reeking of rot and something else. Something like blood. Ryan gagged. "Let's just go, man." But before they could move, the porch light flickered to life. The front door creaked open, slow and deliberate. "Martin," a voice rasped from the darkness. They froze. The voice was low, like dry leaves scraping against wood. A figure stepped forward, tall, thin, and wearing tattered overalls. His head was a pumpkin, carved into a jagged grin, the inside burning with a dim orange light. Thick vines hung from his neck like veins, pulsing faintly with life. Martin's breath caught. "Holly, run!" They sprinted down the street, but the sound of footsteps followed, heavy, slow, relentless. When they looked back, the Pumpkin Man wasn't running. He was gliding, his feet dragging through the leaves, the fire inside his carved face growing brighter. They split up, each darting down a different road. Martin bolted through a backyard and hid behind a fence, panting hard. The night was dead silent except for the distant rustle of leaves. Then, a whisper. "You broke my face." Martin turned. Behind him, the fence was covered in vines, thick, curling vines that hadn't been there a second ago. They wrapped around his legs, pulling tight. He screamed, trying to break free, but the vines dragged him across the dirt, toward a glowing orange light. He saw the Pumpkin Man's face hovering above him, flickering brighter now, like a furnace. The smell of burning filled the air as the creature placed a half-carved pumpkin beside Martin's head. The whisper came again, closer this time. "Let's make you smile, too." The next morning, the sheriff found 3 new jack-o'-lanterns lined up neatly on the porch of the Harrow house, each one carved with the terrified faces of Martin, Kyle, and Ryan. Their bodies were never found. But every Halloween night in Ravenbrook, those same 3 pumpkins reappear fresh, glowing and grinning from ear to ear. Some say if you listen close, you can still hear Martin's muffled screams inside the hollow shell. And if you dare to smash a pumpkin on Halloween night, you might just hear him whisper from the dark, "Go ahead, smile for me." The small town of Elders Hollow was known for its over-the-top Halloween celebrations. Every year, the streets were flooded with decorations, glowing pumpkins, fake gravestones, and plastic skeletons that danced in the wind. But this Halloween was different. The air felt heavier, colder, as if something dark was waiting. Daniel, a 17-year-old horror fanatic, had one goal: to win the town's annual Halloween costume contest. He'd saved up every penny from his part-time job at the gas station to buy something truly terrifying. On October 31st, he found himself wandering down Raven Street, where he noticed a strange, dimly lit shop that hadn't been there before. A crooked sign hung above the door that read, "Hollow faces, masks for every soul." Curious, Daniel stepped inside. The shop smelled like old wood and candle wax. Masks of every kind hung from the walls, grinning clowns, weeping ghosts, animals with hollow eyes, all disturbingly lifelike. Behind the counter stood an old man, his skin pale and his smile thin as paper. "Looking for something special?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Daniel nodded. "Something no one else will have." The man turned and unlocked a cabinet in the back. From inside, he pulled out a mask wrapped in faded cloth. When he unwrapped it, Daniel saw the most realistic werewolf face he'd ever seen. Its fur looked genuine, its fangs sharp enough to cut. The eyes were glassy, almost human. "It's one of a kind," the shopkeeper murmured. "Made from very rare material. Try it on." Daniel hesitated. "How much?" The old man smiled. "For you. Free. It already belongs to you." Daniel laughed nervously, but the temptation was too strong. He slid the mask over his face and it fit perfectly, too perfectly. When he looked in the mirror, he almost didn't recognize himself. The mask looked alive. The fur seemed to move with his breath. "Wow," he whispered. But when he tried to take it off, it wouldn't move. The shopkeeper's smile widened. "Careful," he said softly. "Some faces don't like being taken off." Daniel yanked harder, but the mask clung tighter. He could feel it gripping his skin like warm wax. Panic surged through him. "It's stuck!" he shouted. The man just watched. "Don't fight it. It's becoming you." Daniel ran from the shop, gasping for air. His reflection in the window of a passing car made him stop cold. His eyes were glowing yellow, and something beneath the skin was moving. He screamed, clawing at his face, but when he tore at the mask, blood spilled from the seams. He stumbled back toward the shop, but when he reached it, it was gone. The street was empty. No sign, no lights, just boarded windows and peeling paint, like no one had been there in years. Then, from the alley behind him, came the whisper, "Every mask finds its soul eventually." Daniel turned and saw faces hanging in the darkness. Dozens of masks, each one breathing softly, their mouths twitching as if trying to speak. His body began to change, fur sprouting along his arms, nails curving into claws. His scream turned into a guttural growl as the transformation completed. The werewolf mask wasn't a costume anymore. It was him. By morning, the townspeople found a new mask displayed in a toy store window downtown, a snarling werewolf's face, its mouth frozen mid-scream. The eyes inside looked human, terrified. And every Halloween after that, the mysterious shop returns for one night. Hollow faces always in a different place, always with a new mask hanging in the window. If you ever find it open, whatever you do, don't try one on, because the next mask might just be yours.